So I hosted an event last year for the Spoken Word Festival, and Sherry D invited me to take part in it this year as an artist, which I really appreciate. I am primarily a songwriter, so instead of sort of just doing songs that are just maybe in promotion of my latest release and that sort of thing, I wanted to think about songs that were where the lyrics I thought were important or inspired in some way, and sort of talk about them a little bit. We'll just get the guitar up and everything here. Oh, there we go, okay. So the first song I wanted to do then is, this song was inspired by listening to a lot of Tom Waits. He's one of my favorite artists, I would say. And I've done lots of driving throughout North America and lots of touring around. So lots of listening to him on the road. And I remember being in my car one day and sort of listening to Tom Waits, kind of getting mad at myself in my own head, like, when is he going to infiltrate my writing? When am I going to write like a Tom Waits kind of song? And then it's like this other part of my brain went, well, if you were to write a Tom Waits kind of song, how would it go? And the other part of my brain went, well, of course it would go like this. Dun, 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 dun. And all the words just kind of came, and they weren't words I'd thought of before. And they just came like a bolt of lightning.
Meet down at the pier if we both have time to kill. After dark, no one's around. The ocean is our only sound. We could meet down at the fair if we both have time to kill. At the Ferris wheel at 10, we'll go round and round again. Up on the edge of the building on the ledge, we could stand there real still if we both have time to kill. We could meet deep in the woods if we both have time to kill. There beside the blackened tree, we could get down on our knees. Could meet at the motel if we both have time to kill. Secretly or clandestine, have an affair in our minds. Let's meet under the street lamp, in the fog all cold and damp. We could find out what is real if we both have time to kill. We could meet and swallow pills if we both have time to kill. One to make you taller than, one to make you small again. Let's meet at the funeral if we both have time to kill. So, let's meet at the funeral if we both have time to kill. Dressed so serious in black, there would be no looking back. We could meet up in disguise at the restaurant in the sky, acting like we've only met if we both have time to kill. We could meet, not say a word if we both have time to kill. Silently we'll understand, smile and take each other's hand.
Thank you. I'm not used to singing for such attentive audiences. Maybe if you heckled me or something, I'd relax a little here. Or not. Ooh, thank you. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to tell a little story about this next song. It's kind of a brand new spanking song. I was just on the road in the States for 2 months. I just got back a couple weeks ago, and my whole purpose was trying to make my way down to Memphis for the Folk Alliance conference and do some private showcases. And the private showcases are 3 levels at the top of the Marriott Hotel. Every single room is converted into a private showcase. They pull the beds out, tuck them away. Some of them they decorate. Each one's run by a different organization, and it's just kind of crazy. So anyway, I made my way down there, and as I was kind of looking at, well, maybe I could tour my way down rather than just fly in and out of Memphis, and looked into some grants, applications and stuff, and it turns out that I could apply for both the showcase and the tour. So there wasn't a ton of time to plan this tour, and I just thought I'd put the word out and see if it would fall together, because sometimes the universe works pretty magically that way in your favor. And I had met this fellow the year before in Memphis at a different event, and his name's Pat McDonald, and he was in that band Timbuk 3 that you might remember, that song, The Future's So Bright I Gotta Wear Shades. And we became really good friends, and he lives in Wisconsin, so I thought, well, if I'm gonna tour down, I can go through Wisconsin. And I emailed him going, well, it's only a few weeks away, I doubt he has anything, but it doesn't hurt to ask. So put out a note to him and went, hey, Pat, I don't suppose you'd have a gig for me in your area around Valentine's Day, ha ha ha. And he wrote me back within 5 minutes and said, can you spare a week? I was like, a week? What's going on in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin for a week that you have a gig for me? And it turns out, okay, so him and his girlfriend and partner and musical partner, they have a band called Purgatory Hill that's just awesome. They own a motel. They've converted it. It's called the Holiday Music Motel. And they do rent it out as a motel. You can go stay there anytime, except for a couple times a year when they actually pack it full of their musician friends. And they do a songwriting intensive. And I'm like, okay, well, so what are the costs for this intensive? And he went, what do you mean? You just get here and we put you up at the motel and we spin the whiskey bottle and you write songs. I'm like, okay, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm like, well, I don't know how I'm gonna make this work, but I'll be right there. So I ended up taking part in this life-changing, I've never done anything like that, and co-writing with other people on the spot like that. So it was a challenge, and I ended up stepping up to the challenge. And I came with a few inklings of ideas, and one of them was this inkling of an idea. And I saw this guy, Charlie Chaney, who plays the baritone ukulele, and I heard one song that he wrote, and I went, you have to co-write this song with me. And I pinned him down in the hallway, and he was, I've just written 3 songs, and I'm kind of tired right now. I'm like, no, we have to write this song now. So we grabbed the whiskey bottle, and we sat in the hallway, and we wrote this song.
Sunflowers bring any room to life. Their petals turn to the sun. But if you want to make me your wife, bring me roses. It must be roses. Roses, roses. Only roses will do. If you really love me, you'll bring me roses. It must be roses. Lilies are fine for your mother's grave, respectful, honest, and true. But if you want to show me your love, only roses will do. Roses, roses, only roses will do. If you really love me, you'll bring me roses. It must be roses. Tulips are bright and cheerful, perfect for Mother's Day. But only roses will do, my love, if my father is to give me away. Roses, roses, only roses will do. If you really love me, you'll bring me roses. It must be roses. flower girl, carnation on your lapel, irises for the bridesmaids. These are all fine and well, but I'll carry roses, roses, only roses will do. If you really love me, you'll bring me roses, it must be roses. Once we're married and you're my groom, I'll live with you until I die. And when I die, you'll fill my room with roses, only roses. Roses, roses, only roses will do. If you really love me, you'll bring me roses, it must be roses. If you really love me, you'll bring me roses, it must be roses.
Thank you very much. So I feel like I found an alter ego in that song. Her name is Miss Scarlet. And I think there's a Miss Scarlet album that's going to have to happen. So I've decided to go back to Wisconsin for their next songwriting workshop in June. And we'll see what comes out of that as well. Yeah. And I actually got to co-write a rock and roll song with Pat called You're Such a Good Bad Influence on Me. So who knows? Maybe I've got a rock star in me somewhere. I've got all these alter egos that need to come out now. We'll see what happens. You know what? Pat actually wrote it on the guitar, so I don't even, honestly, I don't know how to play it. I honestly don't even know how. I'd have to get him to show it to me. He's the one who ran with it. But I will sing kind of, this is kind of a bit of a bluesy song, I guess. I am going to do the token song that is off my new CD called Drive, and as Kirk mentioned, it's a series of driving, freedom, and heartache songs. This is one of the heartache songs. It's called Not My Lover.
Stars are threatening to leave. I'll sit here in the dark until I can see. I won't waste one more day on what will never be. I'll take a drink, tell myself that you are not my lover. Howling, the rain comes down, and you are nowhere to be found. I'll take shelter from the storm, imagine that I'm not alone. I won't waste one more day trying to be seen. I'll take a drink, convince myself that you are not my lover. Are gray, the skies are gray, and the ocean too. I'll stop wandering through this maze, searching for the truth. I won't waste one more day trying to get to you. I'll take a drink, convince myself that you are not my lover. I'll take a drink, remind myself that you are not my lover. I'll take a drink, tell myself that you are not my lover.
Thanks so much for listening. I don't know if we're going to take a break right now where we're at, but yeah, thanks so much for having me, Sherry D, and we'll see you out there for a drink.